John,
David,
welcome. And welcome to our audience out there.
LicataLive.
We're here.
Licata's our live. David Macpherson and John Licata here. Good to see you, David.
Good to see you, John.
Nice to see you at the gym this morning.
I decided the fall is here and it's time to get back at it a little bit. Got to stay healthy, don't we?
Well, I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger walking by and then I realized it was you.
I was definitely not.
The Scottish version of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do not think so, John.
Maybe James Bond. What was his name? Sean Connery. You're more than Sean
yeah,
Connery.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Please don't wear your kilt into the fitness center.
Especially when I'm using the rowing machine, that would not be good.
Although I do think that would be unique for open houses and things like that for sure. Do you play the bagpipes?
No, I do not. But I do have a kilt which, with the expansion belt on it, now actually is something I can still wear.
Unfortunately, I need an expansion belt more often than I'd like to admit. I am a little thicker than I used to be. I've always been thick.
I think we're all there now that we've reached that magic.
You're a little bit older than I am, though.
Are you going to bust my chops
every time?
This whole session.
Now that Dan Seiler has semi-retired, you are the vintage member of our team.
Oh no! You have to say.
He has a young wife, though.
Yep.
He has a young wife, though, that I'm sure contributed a lot to those gray hairs.
That's right. You can catch up with her on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the clubhouse.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the gym.
She's fit.
She's teaching her fitness class, seated aerobics. It works out for everyone apart from me.
Yeah, she told me that you're kind of soft. You can't keep up with her.
Cannot.
Hey, well, what about, we had 5 open houses this weekend, 2 waterfronts, 1 in Fairfax.
Yep.
I know at least 3 or 4 of them have some contracts going on.
Yep.
I don't know if they've been accepted yet, but I know there's some in play. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was busy because I guess originally this would have been the weekend where in the lake anyway they would have had a kind of what I call the parade of homes type of open house, and unfortunately they didn't have that. But fortunately for us, the size of the team that we have, we had 5 or 6 listings, 5 in the lake and another couple outside. So we did our own little parade of homes.
Yep. And lead with listings, David.
It was very, very busy.
So what about Fairfax? What's going on there?
So we got a really nice home up in Fairfax Station, which is right by GMU, and it's on Clara Barton Parkway, and it's just a super location. There's a swim club there that I think they're nationally ranked. I mean, it's a great place. So we've got one up there. We just completed a sale on a Leesburg property, and I know we're going to talk a little bit later on about supply chain, but I've actually just got a client who bought a piece of land almost a year ago and just hasn't been able to start building on it, and they contacted me and said, we think we might need to move on from the land and look at buying resale because we just can't get builders, supplies, and stuff like that to get this project started. So it's really interesting what's going on up there.
I know we just had a settlement of an Occoquan property of sort of a very vintage type historic property in Occoquan. It's just great to see that happening all over the country. I had an old prospect call me 2 weeks ago about 35 acres out in Spotsylvania County. And of course, Keith Neely on our team is a very, very strong land expert and developer. I had a client that I talked with about maybe solar, looking for a solar farm. Mm-hmm. But Keith came in and said, hey, John, I listed that property. I actually think it's undervalued. I tried to encourage him to put it on a little bit higher, and he said, no, we want to sell it quickly. And Keith told me today that it's under contract, well above, 20% above what the offer was, something like that. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So if you don't like a house, I guess you buy the land and you build your perfect house.
Except it takes a while. I mean, we're seeing it all over. It's just taking a while. Builders, contractors have been so busy through the pandemic because a lot of people have been doing renovations and remodeling and so on and so forth. So that combined with the fact that there's such a shortage in inventory and new builders can't keep up with that, it's meant that it's hard to get new construction done, and to do custom new construction is really quite a challenge still. So
Well,
something
to
think
your
about.
point about supply chain, whether you're purchasing paper towels or Rice Krispies, certainly it's a problem for the builders with lumber, with windows, and virtually anything. So if you're starting a home improvement project or you're starting a new build, patience is a virtue, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and if you're thinking of, oh, we can get it done in 8 months, plan for 12, and then have some contingency plans if that doesn't work. That's even the new builders would tell you that right now. It's that challenging of a market.
I got some interesting stats about the market. So I read this actually yesterday. I read an article about this yesterday. So hear me out on this. In a typical year, historical year, 4 million resales happen.
Okay.
By the way, there's 2 million realtors in the United States. That's from the National Association of Realtors.
I don't feel so lonely now.
No. David, the vast majority of them are part-timers.
Right.
They have other source of income.
Right.
All right. 2 million designated realtors.
Right.
Okay, put it in perspective. There's 600,000 architects. There's 650,000 attorneys. There's 2 million realtors.
Really?
So in a typical year, and in 2020, there were about 4 million resale homes sold.
Okay.
2 million realtors, 4 million homes sold, plus there were 800 new constructions homes sold. 4.8 million. And listen, I'm not a great math student. You know, I'm an OP coach. I'm a wrestling OP major. That tells you that each realtor would sell 2.1 homes a year. 2.1 homes a year. On our team, if you don't sell 20 homes, there's a problem.
Yep.
I mean, we'll sell well over 200 homes this year. Experience really does matter.
And being full time. I mean, part time in this market today, and in fact in any market in real estate, but you can't serve your clients well enough if you're not full time.
It's so complicated. It has become so complex, and with multiple offer situations, it is even just trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Some other notes that I have relative to the market. Asking prices are up 12%. That's an all-time high. Despite optimism from people listing their homes for sale, pending sales and new listings are followed by the expected seasonal slowdowns. Kids are back to school, things start slowing down. There is a seasonal aspect of real estate. Mortgage rates are starting to creep up, which could let some steam out of the market. So when we talk about steam out of the market, I don't want anyone on this who's going to watch this call either now or on our YouTube channel in the future think that they're going to see a crash. It's not. It's purely supply and demand. There are more folks buying than there are properties for sale. That's totally different than what happened in 2007, 8, that reverberated into 9, 10, 11, 12. Total different indicators, total different reason. It's pure economics, supply and demand. Demand is higher than the supply we have. And when you think about the 800,000 new builds that were last year, and actually that is a trend that started happening 10, 12 years ago. We need as a country 1.5 million new builds a year. We haven't had that in 12, 13 years. So we're woefully underwater. It's going to take a long time to catch up on that, if ever. You know, hopefully in our lifetime, David. I know you're a lot older than I am, so you might be worried about that. Every time we talk, anytime I talk to people, they say, well, I'm afraid things are going to, just drop out of the bottom.
Right.
I think they'll slow down.
Yeah, they slow down. And some people say, it's funny, I think most people now are saying, I'm waiting for the market to settle down. It's not. I'm not expecting the market to go down, but they're expecting it to settle down. We did about 6 weeks ago. We saw a little bit of a lull. We started to see some houses not selling in 7 days. They were actually taking 14 days or 21 days to sell, and we thought, okay, well, we're starting to see something change. But then all of a sudden, once we got through a couple of strong weekends that we personally had and the market had, we were back to, wow, there's hardly anything on the market again, and it's back to moving quickly. So it's still an up and down market. It's definitely not going into reverse in any way, shape, or form. And I know that people are saying, okay, interest rates are creeping up, but just as a matter of fact, last week I had a loan closed with one of the big credit unions. It was Navy Federal, 2.35%, 30-year fixed. And we were talking, over $700,000 on that loan. It was a big loan. So I mean, the rates for the well qualified, good credit, etc., are still there. And even Navy Federal, I was talking to them about something personal, and I said, are you doing home equity lines yet? And they said, no, we haven't been allowed to do home equity lines through the past 18 months. We're actually hoping that we'll be able to start doing home equity loans again sometime in November this year. And I thought, wow, but they've just been so busy with their normal business. It's just been that crazy of a market.
I have, I'm listening to this and I'm disappointing in myself. My home loan is 3.62%. Maybe I should be refinancing.
Maybe, John.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
Of
course, your credit's nowhere near as good as.
Not as good as yours. Not as good as yours, David. Not as good as yours. I got to absolutely. Some other data that I have here in front of me that I was reading, and this is current. The median home sale price increased 13% year over year, and is up 0.02% in the last 4 weeks. Ending September 19th. New listings of home for sale were down 8% from a year earlier. So if you remember last year, when the pandemic hit, for a period of time there was nothing happening. Then it built back up again, but it's still low in comparison to a typical market. That's why we're talking about prices. Not dropping. I think increases will slow down. Yep. Instead of seeing 12, 14, 16%, we'll see the normal 2 to 4%. 46% of homes that went under contract within the first 2 weeks. 46% of homes nationwide within the first 2 weeks. Yep. So when you're out with a buyer's agent in your looking at homes, if you see something 60, 90 days, got to give you a pause. There's something wrong. Is it condition? Is it location? Is it price? There's something. Because if a home is priced well, in a desirable location, and in reasonably good condition, it's going to sell very quickly and not 60 or 90 days. Right. So it's definitely a challenging time. Yep. It's definitely a challenging time.
We're working through it. Like you said, we're going to do over 200 this year. We've got a lot of folks that are still trusting in us to get both homes sold and to find them homes. I mean, you and I, we've both been doing boat tours down here regularly. I've been down, last couple of deals were down at Licata. There's still houses out there, and there's still opportunities for people.
Yeah. We had the open houses this weekend, 5 total open houses, 2 waterfronts, 2 moderately priced homes. Waterfronts are certainly $1 million homes.
Yep.
And one high-priced home in Fairfax. And I think we had, between the 5 of them, well over 100 people go through.
Yeah, we did.
So although it has slowed down, typically when you're selling a home now, there aren't as many folks who are who are just out on a nice day. Hey, it's a beautiful day. Let's go look at some houses. You're seeing less of that once the kids go back to school.
Yeah.
The people who are looking now are generally very serious buyers, and our fourth quarter is always extremely strong, and our December is always very strong. When you would think in most realtors, it's really started to slow down, and that's a testament to the marketing efforts, to our database, to the full court effort.
Yeah. The other thing is, I noticed that I worked 2 open houses this weekend, and on the one on Sunday that I was working, I noticed that some of the folks that were coming through were recent PCS moves for the military. And I guess the whole military relocation programs, they were dramatically impacted in the last 18 months, but they're getting back on track. And I had 2 visitors coming through with their families that had come in from out of state because of a move. One was from Fort Bragg, and the one I think was Fort Hood, coming into the DC region and living with relatives. And one of them was a little tired of living with my sister. Like to try and find a place, but it's so hard to find a place. So but there are some buyers coming into the area, which again it's good to see, because I think that whole federal government and corporate relocation piece had really slowed down over the last 18 months, and it's good to see that coming back alive again.
Well, people are working remotely, but you say it, and for those who use folks who watch our YouTube, this particular video, we do one a week. We have had people from Europe tune in to ours. We have a Canadian group that regularly tunes in to us. Of course, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I know we have some PA people that tune in, and I hear from time to time. We live in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. We're in that, we're in big government country, and with all the money that's going out, that will continue to go out. I don't care whether you lean left, whether you lean right, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent. We know that those folks in Congress and Senate, they're going to spend money, and a lot of the money stays in this area, comes in this area, which creates that bountiful real estate environment. So I have no doubt over the next. In our lifetime, that's going to continue to be strong.
55 plus communities are still sprouting up and growing. Retirement plus medical centers are still, big areas for investment and so on. And that's before we even get into any massive infrastructure, work that's being done. So it's still a wonderful time to be involved with real estate, and certainly to be living in Central Virginia or in Northern Virginia for that matter.
Well, Central Virginia, where would I call? I say you and I are sitting today in Northern Central Virginia.
Yep.
Northern Central Virginia. I guess Lynchburg could be, we don't service Lynchburg, but Lynchburg would be considered Central Virginia as well. But that's a little bit, a bit south. Hey, the other thing I wanted to mention is, we have some, everyone talks about the labor market, and it's a challenge to hire the jobs. We have a marketing position that's open that we'd love to hire. If any of you follow us, even this is part of our marketing and information efforts. But we have a nice marketing position. It's be a great opportunity for someone. If anyone in this area knows of someone with a marketing background, marketing degree, even if it's a young kid out of college with a marketing degree, I'd love to hear from you.
Oh yeah, so much of what we do. We talk about it when we're talking to our sellers and so on about how strong our marketing is, because we've got a great database, not just of clients and prospective clients, but we've also got a huge database of agents that are real estate agents. And like you were saying earlier, a lot of real estate agents are part-timers, but it's so important to still market, not just to the prospective buyers that are out there, but to market to the agents as well. And we've got a great reputation. Other agents from other brokerages like working with the Licata team because they know we get the deals through the finishing line. There's a lot of things happen between having just a signed, ratified contract and 30 or 45 days out when that contract finally turns into, here's the keys, John, welcome to your new home, and having a great relationship with the agents that they say, hey, I want to work with the Licata team because I know that they'll get it done.
Well, David, that's part of our proven, repeatable process. But in reality, you and I know to stay out of the way so Jasmine and Barbara could do their magic to get it across the finish line. Because it's one thing getting this is old data, but it used to be like 25% of homes that went under contract would fall out, like an ungodly number. Not necessarily in this market. I mean, I haven't seen that 25%. I have seen people make offers because they're afraid that other people are beating to them punch, and then a day or two later having buyer's remorse, and you see some fall out. That happens in a hyper market that we're still enjoying, and that's very stressful. I mean, that's very stressful. There is a process that we use to try to ensure that doesn't happen to our buyers, certainly, our buyers, and protect. It's a great time to own real estate. It's a great time to be in real estate. So if what they say is true, and the average from a year ago, the median home sale price is $361,250, up 12%. So that tells me that the average price a year ago was around $300. That's $61,000 of wealth that homeowner has.
Yeah.
You don't get wealth when you're a renter.
That's very true. That's very true. And that's equity as well, which, if you need to tap into equity for other purposes and so on, that's equity you now have in the house that you didn't have a year ago.
So from my vantage point, now I'm in the business here, but the best investment historically for me has always been real estate. It's trusted and time tested. It's an asset. A stock is a piece of paper, but a home is real and tangible.
I love cars. They're not good investments. I can tell you that.
You're a car fashionista. So tell me, and boat. So tell me about what listings we have
that are still active, and these are. So again, one of the things I'll point out here is anybody that's interested with working with our buyer specialists, which is John, myself, actually everybody on the team, is we can set up something for you which will allow you to see not just what we've got active, but what else is coming soon in the market as well. And that's
not just our listings, but the market's listings.
Exactly. So,
market's listings.
Current, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is like 10, and then coming, what we call in the pipeline, we have another 8.
About 18 listings.
18 listings. Some of them we do have some offers on that are ones from this past weekend and so on.
That'll probably go under contract.
Likely go under contract, and I know at least 3 of them had multiples, which is still great. We're still attracting multiple offers into this market, which is a testament to the sellers listening to our advice, looking at what's going on in the market, and pricing their homes to sell. We saw a little bit of a time there where people were just getting a little bit too speculative and just thinking, oh, well, if the market's gone up by 15%, I want 20% more from my house. And you have to have a little bit of a serious conversation about what is your actual goal here? Is it you just want to see if you can get that much for your house, but you've got no plan as to what you're going to do, where you're going to go? You have to have some goals about it. And then if you really do want to sell, price it to attract the buyers and to attract the offers.
Well, you can chase the market,
Yep.
or you can drive the market.
Yep. And we like to drive it.
Proven, repeatable process, David.
That's right.
There's an art and a science behind it.
Absolutely.
Hey, well, that's about it from LicataLive with Chili Mac here and John Licata. And I give David a hard time. I give everyone a hard time. We have a lot of fun at Licata Group.
Yeah, we do.
Believe me, I take it. I get whipped on quite a bit. I think when I started in this business, I was 6'2".
Yep. And look
Now
at
I'm
him now. Look
5'9".
at him now. I mean, look at him. Anyway, I'll get down to my real height. There we go. Anyway, thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll hopefully see you. Stop by the office anytime, and we hope to see you at some of the things around the community down here, as well as around some of our listings all over the state.
Take care.
Okay. Bye bye.